Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
The biggest sale of the year is happening right now during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda. For a limited time, make no payments for 90 days on every new Honda. That's right, you choose and make no payments for 90 days at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hello and welcome. As I wait for Marty to turn the foldback volume down, thank you kindly, sir. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours and your little slice of South Louisiana heaven since the last opportunity we had to spend a little time with you and yours 2 days ago, actually. Before we get started, I want to say a very special thank you. I've nicknamed them the Gang of 8. Although only 4 have arrived so far. 8 folks coming in to watch the live taping of the show at Old School Barbecue, one of whom, by the way, tells me he drove all the way from Hot Springs, Arkansas to take in the show. Wonderful town, by the way. My late brother got married in Hot Springs, Arkansas. So I had the opportunity to spend a little time there. Absolutely wonderful people there and a wonderful town. We start with Louisiana news as we normally do, and the fact that it has happened once again. Yesterday, at an alternative school in East Baton Rouge Parish, a massive brawl takes place involving an estimated 200 students and parents at an alternative school. 10 people arrested. Others potentially will face charges later on. One 17-year-old male charged with second-degree battery of a police officer. 3 of these individuals are facing felony charges, by the way. One 15-year-old male charged with aggravated battery of a police officer. A 17-year-old male, battery on a police officer, disturbing the peace with violence, and resisting arrest. 5, 16, and 17-year-olds charged with disturbing the peace by fistic encounter. An 18-year-old female charged with unlawful disruption of the operation of a school and resisting arrest. And a 17-year-old female charged with disturbing the peace and resisting arrest. I'm going to go out on a limb here, y'all. As you probably are aware, alternative schools are for students who have been kicked out of other regular schools because they can't get along with other people. I'm gonna go out on a limb and take a wild guess here. Maybe, just maybe, your kids got kicked out of regular school because they watched their parents brawl like animals, and they're only doing what they see their parents do. It's a simple deduction, y'all. Over 200 students and parents fighting at an alternative school. At some point, y'all, we've got to do better. If your child is in an alternative school because he can't or she can't get along with peace-loving students, now you're about to get kicked out of the alternative school. What do you think that bodes for the future of your child? And a good place to start in analyzing it would be with your own behavior. It's not that hard to figure out, y'all. It's not that hard. In other Louisiana news, this week, the topic of underage drinking took center stage once again. In the wake of, I think it was 2017, if memory serves correct, 18-year-old Max Groover, victim of a hazing incident where they, quote, forced him to drink enough alcohol to get his blood alcohol content level over 6 times the legal limit. And of course, just recently, we witnessed 19-year-old, Madison Brooks, dying after her blood alcohol content level was over 4 times the legal limit. The Alcohol Beverage Control Board investigated both of these incidents and all the others that have occurred in recent memory, and in the future plan to discuss the following, quote, raising the age to enter a bar to 21. Well, good luck with that, because I'm going to tell you what most folks are going to say. Well, wait a minute. I can join the military at 18, be issued a weapon, put in charge of a tank, allowed to fly a warplane, can give my life in defense of my country, but I can't go to a bar and have a cold beer? You're going to have a tough road to hoe when you try to enforce that. They also want to have conversations about improving ID checking requirements and technology. Have no problem with that. Making sure that business owners are more accountable. Let's be real about this, y'all. A young person that wants to drink is going to drink. If it's not at a bar, they will find someone to purchase it for them at a retail outlet. They will get illegal IDs to illegally purchase alcohol. This is a mindset we've got to work on, y'all. Pure and simple. And of course, here in Louisiana, our beloved laissez-aller, bon temps roulé attitude regarding drinking and driving has us where we are right now. But unless and until we decide to attack the mindset, none of this is going to change. When you have 17, 18, 19-year-olds consuming enough alcohol illegally to register 4, 5, 6 times the legal limit, that's a mindset problem, y'all. Pure and simple. It's not that hard to figure out. Of course, now, floor producer extraordinaire Marty will tell me, Clarence, there you go again, using that common sense. I am who I am. I look at things for what they are. And it doesn't take a whole lot to figure this one out. Finally, In Louisiana news, United States Congressman Garrett Graves announcing this week that he will not enter the race for governor. In his, and I talked about this on Tuesday when former Secretary of Department of Transportation and Development head Dr. Sean Wilson announced he's running. Remember, I made the comment that I looked at his official announcement, both in video and written, and I found it particularly interesting. There was absolutely no mention of God anywhere in the announcement. And I made mention of the fact that I like Sean Wilson as a person. Don't know if he'd make a great governor or not. But this is Louisiana. And as Barack Obama once famously said, we are a place where we cling to our Bibles and our guns. And to announce as a man of color that you're going to run for governor and nowhere in the announcement do you mention God, it makes some people wonder. And I also said Tuesday when talking about this, I went back and looked at the announcement for our Attorney General, Jeff Landry, who's running for governor. In the first sentence, he mentioned God. Garrett Graves, in his announcement, made perfectly clear he came to this decision after much prayer and prayerful consideration. Now listen, y'all, I get it. As an American, you have the right to worship whatever God you choose to, or no God at all. That's your right as an American. But at the end of the day, when you look around this country and how far our moral compass has strayed, I think you could make a pretty convincing argument that we need God more than ever. A little later on in the show, we're going to talk about a guy that the Democrats are going to be coming for real soon. You know who it is, and what he said correlates directly to what we're talking about now. It should make for an interesting conversation. We're heading up on the first commercial break of today's show. You know, on Tuesdays, we do a segment entitled, now that's just stupid. It's not Tuesday, but we've got one that is probably in the top 3 all-time stupid statements. And of course, it comes from a high-ranking person, surprise, surprise, in the Biden-Harris administration. Imagine that. Let me get this first commercial break out of the way. We'll get it done, come back and talk more with you, right where you've got it, on the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close. I know I was...
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Gallagher. This is Roy Fletcher. We hope you'll join us for Fletch Nation, especially if you like talking politics.
Man, come and join us. We'll give you the information, and then we'll give you the context. And by the way, we'll give you fun, too.
Lots of fun. We hit the local races, the state. We even look at what's going on all across America. And by the way, this space is available. If you'd like to talk about advertising, send your emails to Roy Fletcher at royfletcher.com and join us every week here on the Pelican for Fletch Nation.
owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
The season of inspiration is the perfect time to discover the enhanced Mazda CX-5, named a 2022 IIHS Safety Pick Plus Award winner, its highest safety award honor. Choose from over 45 CX-5s available at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Hi, gang. Clarence Bugs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Bugs Show.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Welcome back to the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. If you were not with us heading into the last commercial break, I mentioned that on Tuesdays we have a segment entitled, now that's just stupid. I mean stupid above, way above and beyond normal stupidity. And in many cases, the stupid that we're seeing is a result of what I call box checkers. People that you hire, not because of their ability, but because they enable you to check off certain boxes along the way of the social justice agenda. This week, Karine Jean-Pierre said something to the White House press corps that literally blew up Twitter and the internet. Peter Doocy, Fox News reporter, posed this question to Karine Jean-Pierre. Is President Biden comfortable with the cartels and their violence at the border and all the fentanyl pouring into our country? Her response, and I quote, "Because of the work that this president has done, because of what we've done specifically on fentanyl at the border, it's at historic lows. Historic levels that we've been able to record a number of personnel working to secure the border because of what we've been able to do, seizing that fentanyl. We've done it in a historic way. That's because of what this president has done." First of all, about halfway through that quote, did you say to yourself, that's grammatically incorrect? The sentence structure makes no sense at all. Not to mention the fact that it's a lie. So I'm trying to give her, after she made this statement, the benefit of the doubt, as others have tried to do, saying, well, maybe what she meant is we've seized a historic amount of fentanyl, and as a result, it's at historic lows. Well, there's two problems with that line of reasoning. Number one, if fentanyl in this country is at historically low levels, why then are historically high deaths occurring? I mean, conventional wisdom would say lower the supply, fewer people can get it, fewer people die. And if we're at historically low levels, shouldn't the number of fentanyl opioid-related deaths be going down? But there I go again with that common sense. Leave it to your buddy Clarence to look at something for what it is. Second problem with telling me that fentanyl has dropped to historically low levels. If you have seized enough fentanyl to drop it to lowest levels in history in America, the Border Patrol and anybody with a measure of common sense knows you're only catching a small percentage of what actually comes across the border, which means there is a historic amount of it still floating around the country. That, my friends, is what you call spin. Taking the truth, pulling one little nugget out of it, and turning a lie into the truth. But you see, this is what happens when you hire people that I call box checkers. When you look at the resume, and of course you're trying to push an agenda, let's see, where do they fit in with the agenda? Ooh, we can check this box here. Pete Buttigieg is probably the low man on the totem pole. Secretary of the Federal Department of Transportation. Lousy at his job. Supply chain crisis still plaguing the country. Deadly chemical derailment in Palestine, Ohio. Took him 10 days to get there. And of course, airlines suffering through thousands of flight cancellations. But we can check the box because he's gay. He'll do. Here's your job. Then we move to Kamala Harris, Vice President. Lousy at her job, our border czar. Remember when she spent your money on Air Force Two going to Central and Latin America to find out the root causes of illegal immigration? Since she's gotten back, do any of you remember her holding a press conference and saying, we've identified the root causes of illegal immigration, and here's what we plan to do to fight it? No, you don't remember because she never did it. But she's a two-boxer. We can check off black and we can check off female. Then there's Karine Jean-Pierre and her favorite person, Ketanji Brown Jackson, on the Supreme Court of the United States. The one woman in all of America, black woman, that cannot tell you what a woman is. Here's your exercise for the day. Walk up randomly, anywhere in America, to 100 black women and ask them, can you define what a woman is? All 100 of them, unless Karine Jean-Pierre or Ketanji Brown Jackson happen to be on your interview list, every single one of them can tell you what a woman is. But she's a two-boxer. She's black and she's female. Then, speaking of Karine Jean-Pierre, they hit for the cycle with this woman. She's a four-boxer. She's black, she's a woman, she's an immigrant, and she's gay. Oh my God, sign the contract, you got a job. She's a four-boxer. Are you noticing a pattern here? Every single one of these clowns are lousy at their jobs. But they get the job because we can check off some boxes. Now, here's what the liberals and the Democrats are going to tell you. Oh, we are the most diverse administration in history. Yeah, you arguably are the most diverse. We can also make the argument you are the most incompetent administration in history. Diversity does not necessarily equate to competence. Listen, y'all, I give less than a you-know-what about who you sleep with. I give less than a you-know-what about what you identify as, what your pronouns are. I could give less than a you-know-what. All I'm concerned about is, can you do the damn job? And it's obvious at this point, no, they can't. The second in command of the disposal of America's toxic nuclear waste is a guy who identifies as a woman, who likes to steal people's luggage and then take selfies wearing the dresses of the woman's clothes he stole with his mustache thicker than mine and ruby red lipstick. And then post it on the internet for all to see. But they got to check off that box, buddy. He identifies as a woman. We're the most diverse administration in history and the most incompetent. But you know something, folks? At the end of the day, they can only do this if we allow it. They can only do it if we allow it. And the fact of the matter is, if you are one of these diehard Democrats, they are doing this in your name. Clarence, I don't believe a boy can be a girl, and I don't believe a girl can be a boy. So why are you voting for a party and the candidates who say your son can be your daughter? Well, Clarence, I don't believe that, look at the black community. We need more police. We don't need less police. So why then would you vote for any candidate that's a member of a party that says we need to defund the police? If you ever take the time to think about it, look at it, and analyze it for what it is, you will find a very, 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 very disturbing trend. Look at what Democrats are doing in this country. And the group that is hurt the most by their policies are the most loyal members of the Democrat Party. It's not conservatives, it's not Republicans saying defund the police. Latest poll says 78% of black Americans say we need more police in our communities because we are disproportionately hurt by crime. So who do you think it is saying we need to defund the police? It's the Democrats you vote for. It doesn't take that much. You don't have to be Einstein to figure this out, y'all. And sadly, come next election cycle, many of you, not having done any due diligence or research at all, will simply look for the letter D behind a person's name before you vote for him. I just got one simple question for you. How's that working out for you? Just an observation. Bottom of the hour break. Don't you love watching them eat their own? They're going to be coming for these two fellows real soon. We'll talk about that when we continue the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
You could be driving a...
Now's the time to save on new Accords during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana. Get our lowest prices and biggest savings on our largest selection of Accords this year. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Team Honda of Acadiana, I-49 just south of Opelousas.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. If you are in any way, shape, or form a student of history, you will notice as you go back through the history of civilization that socialist countries, communist countries, eventually consume their own. It is something that history shows us time and time and time again, inevitably is going to happen. And in this country, it's no different. When you run afoul of the official narrative, you can expect before too long they're going to be coming for you. I don't care if you're a Democrat. Democrats will eat you alive if you don't toe the line. This week, two people had the backbone / unmitigated gall to go against the narrative. And rest assured, it's not going to be long before their fellow Democrats are going to try to pull the rug from under him. We start with the mayor of New York, Eric Adams. Black man, Democrat. This week, he had the nerve to come out and say that unless and until we start enforcing morality in this country, we're doomed. Quote, "Don't tell me about no separation of church and state. State is the body. Church is the heart. You take the heart out of the body dies. When we took prayers out of schools, guns came into schools. Parents need to instill some level of faith and belief in their children. We are destroying our next generation, destroying them. And we say over and over again, we need to build a world that's better for our children. No, we need to build children that are better for our world. They're going to be coming for him real soon. You had the nerve to say when we took God out of school, the guns came in? Here's a question. Who do you think it was, Democrat or Republican, liberal or conservative, that wanted and demanded God be taken out of our schools? There's your answer. There's your answer. Meanwhile, another black man, and they're going to be coming for him too. Just give it time. Bucks the narrative. The chief of police in Washington, D.C., had the nerve to buck the narrative this week when he came out and said, the police chief, by the way, is Robert Conte, chief of police in Washington, D.C. He offered what he calls a very simple solution to bring down the homicide rate in this country. Quote, what we've got to do, if we really want to see homicides go down, is keep the guys with guns in jail. Because when they're in jail, they can't be in communities shooting people. Duh. So when people talk about what we need to do different or what we should do different, what we need to do different is keep people that are violent with guns in jail. Listen, y'all. Even a little bit of common sense would tell you that a person with no respect for human life, probably a felon, prohibited from owning a firearm, commits a murder, and of course all the George Soros-backed district attorneys in blue cities and blue states all across the country will release you with no bail. The chief of police in D.C. pointed out in talking to the media, the average person arrested for homicide has been arrested for 11 serious crimes before the homicide. 11 times the average violent homicide offender has been arrested for another major crime. And yet, they're on the street. Now, I don't know about you, but that leads me to wonder, are these people serious about what they're telling us? That's rhetorical. You already know the answer. Of course they're not. These are the folks that want you to, quote, reimagine policing. These are the people that want to defund the police. These are the people that are interested in social justice. How is that working out for America? And once again, sadly, it is the most loyal part of the Democrat Party, people that look just like me, that are hurt the most by these policies. And again, if you sit down and look at every single issue, it's the same result. It is the most loyal part of the Democrat Party that suffers the most from their policies. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris refuse to secure our border. A record setting, most in history. 110,000 of our fellow Americans dying from an opioid overdose. And you do realize disproportionately, black folks are more affected in that regard. Crime exploding all over the country. And just so happens, what group of people have the highest crime rates where they live? Take a wild guess. The most loyal members of the Democrat Party. People that look just like this. That doesn't tell you something? Listen, y'all, I have said before, and I will say again at every given opportunity, I am not telling you to be a Republican. Be an independent. Be no party. Be a libertarian. But for God's sake, y'all, don't be a Democrat. Look at the problems facing your community. And if you have half a brain and a little bit of common sense, you can figure out these policies are not designed to benefit you. Now, the mainstream media, collusion, would have you believe it's them evil conservatives that are the racists. So let me get this straight. I, as a black man, need to be concerned, worried about those evil white conservatives. And yet, the guy who co-authored the bill that he very fondly referred to as the Lock the SOBs Up bill, Joe Biden, the one piece of legislation that resulted in more black people in this country being locked up than any other piece of legislation since Jim Crow. But I need to be worried about those evil white conservatives. The same group of people, mind you, that Joe Biden locked up, Donald J. Trump, in signing the First Step Act, released them. So who's the real racist here? And who should I really be concerned about? Here's a white guy that won't secure the border, and black communities are suffering deadly consequences. Who's the racist? Here's a guy that refuses to address in a meaningful way crime exploding all across America, particularly in black communities, and won't do anything to stop it. Who's the real racist here? Listen, y'all, at the end of the day, it's real simple. Vote for the people who share your interests and your concerns. It's not that hard to figure out. And the fact of the matter is, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Cory Booker, Cori Bush, they won't tell you this, but the black community in the country that I love, we are on the verge of extinction. Now, Clarence, how can you say that? Well, the numbers are what the numbers are. 40%, according to the FBI, not me, according to the FBI, 40% of black males in this country this year, the baby makers, ages 15 to 39, 40% of them will die from homicide, overwhelmingly at the hands of other young black men. 40%, y'all. That's not counting in the 110,000 of our fellow Americans dying from an opioid overdose. That's not counting the black folk in that number. But yet, it's the evil conservatives that we need to be on the guard for. Here's the thought. Try voting the other way and see if things improve in your community. After all, What do you have to lose at this point? Just saying. Just saying. Final break of today's show. When we come back, can you define what a woman is? Apparently, the White House can't either. We'll talk about that when we wrap up the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Treads & Care Tire Company announces its new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair with top-notch customer service. Treads & Care offers the convenience of shuttle service and pickup and delivery of your vehicle. You can also enjoy the comfortable customer area, complete with workstations, high-speed internet, and a complimentary coffee bar.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
Treads & Care, the tires you need and the service you want.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to greystonecountryclub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. Daily lunch specials and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremonti's.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of the Thursday edition of the Clarence Bug Show. Well, it's happened again. Not that it's a big surprise or anything, but it is what it is. In celebrating International Women's Month and International Women's Day, the White House decided to hold an awards ceremony recognizing women of immense acceptance and accomplishment. So you had to know what was coming, right? One of the women honored for their courageous fight is actually a dude. Now, I mentioned Clarence, that really shouldn't surprise you. But you know what's ironic here? You are honoring a man who thinks he's a woman in observance of International Women's Day and Month. Maybe that explains why so many Democrats can't define what a woman is. I mean, here you are honoring a man who thinks he's a woman on International Women's Day. So yeah, if you can't define what a woman is, it makes sense that you honor a man on International Women's Day. Meanwhile, have y'all been keeping an eye on this? Tucker Carlson of Fox News has been releasing the 40+ thousand hours of surveillance footage from the January 6th insurrection. Y'all been watching this? Folks on the left are losing their freaking minds. Not because he has lied about anything, but because he's covering the story that the others refuse to. I've been doing this a long time, y'all. And as a guy with common sense, I know full well when people get all upset, screaming, hollering, calling you ugly names, because all you're trying to do is give the American people the story, that tells you they're hiding something. It's not that hard to figure out. Remember when you were a child? Your parents knew when you got all upset about something and started saying this, that, and the other. They knew that boy lying. They knew. What are you trying to hide? And the fact of the matter is, it's the people's house. Their salaries are funded by taxpayers. The Capitol Police are funded by taxpayers. Why shouldn't we be allowed to view the video? Because it won't fit the story that they've been lying to us about. Ding, 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 got a winner. When you're doing something right, it's easy to figure it out. Because those on the left, they ratchet that puppy up to high gear. So you got to wonder, what are people around the world making of America and the things that we are doing these days? Especially for you all that are so concerned with our image abroad and what we're doing and yada, yada, blah, 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 blah. Ran across this yesterday that I've got to share with you. Simon Atiba is an African journalist and a member of the White House Press Corps. He tweeted the following, quote, "Some people are now trying to crucify Fox News and Tucker Carlson over the January 6th footage because America has decided to live a lie, blame only Donald Trump, and turn a blind eye to the massive security failure on January 6th. But many people around the world continue to wonder, how on earth was it possible that in the greatest country in the world, the most armed nation on the planet, with the best and most expensive security agencies in the universe, one of the most important buildings was left unprotected and was easily taken over by protesters while the presidential election results were being certified and the vice president was in the building? Why is no serious investigation being done to understand that security failure and hold accountable every person who was in charge that day? Isn't that the most important investigation to be carried out? He continues, also, why is it hard to understand that when an election takes place during a pandemic with millions of people mailing in ballots rather than showing up at voting centers on election day, many people would be skeptical about the results of that election, especially when the candidate who lost the election won the vote on election day. Instead of labeling people election deniers, is it not better to ensure that even the appearance of fraud is eliminated? When a country decides to live a lie and chases shadows, it conducts false investigations with predetermined outcomes and ends up blaming people like Tucker Carlson for showing the other side of the story. That is a shame. This is from a guy from Africa who's a member of the White House press corps. He can see it. Why can't you? Simple question. And we wonder what people all around the planet are thinking of my beloved country and what we have become. Here's a question for those of you that hate this country, the systemic racism crowd, and the rest of you idiots. Here's a question. Where would you be today if it were not for the United States of America? I'll tell you where you'd be. Sprechen Sie Deutsch? For those of you that don't know, that's, do you speak German? I don't speak Japanese, so I can't ask you, do you speak Japanese? If it were not for this country, all y'all would be speaking either German or Japanese. The rights, the freedoms, the liberties that you enjoy, none of that would be possible. The marvelous inventions that have revolutionized science, medicine, technology, none of that would happen. You are the beneficiaries of all of that. And you can't find anything better to do than to spend your time denouncing the country that we love? I got a word for you, but I can't say it because this is a family show. But I think you know what it is. Just saying. Speaking of, my time's up and I got to go. Marty getting ready to give me the look. I got you covered, brother. Got you covered. You already know the drill. This day, maybe more so than any other day in history, I give it to you. You know what? You're right. America, we are in no way, shape, or form perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. You know the good Lord loves you. You know I do too. And there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. See you soon. God bless. Thank you, Marty. Thank y'all, folks.